I have seen countless law students spending time in deciding which is an area of their interest. When I speak to them, they're like, I'm interested in IPR, I'm interested in corporate law, I'm interested in arbitration, I'm interested in litigation. And then after 15 minutes of conversation, they will come up with one more area of interest. I'm interested in competition law as well. Now, how do you deal with a situation like that? How do you truly identify what is your real area of interest? Now understand this. In law school, most people identify their area of interest not by an intrinsic sense. Okay, you're not born to be a particular kind of lawyer. As a lawyer, there are certain skills you will have. You will have the ability, you are required to have the ability to analyze law, read and understand dense pieces of text, write articles, write contracts, write petitions, write opinions. These are some skills that you will acquire as a lawyer. You can use these for any area of your practice. By default, the areas of law that people find interesting are, say, Indian Penal Code or family law, because they are intuitively understandable. It does not require a lot of special expertise to understand the concepts in family law. Everybody understands, for example, what a divorce is or what an adoption means. It is much harder to understand a concept in tax law. Say, for example, something called thin capitalization. You may have not even heard of it, right? So, why am I saying this? I'm saying not because tax law is difficult and family law is easy. I'm saying that people identify their area of interest because of other factors, such as intuitive ability to understand it, or maybe they participated in a moot on a subject, such as public international law, and they ended up liking it. That's another area. And that's another way in which they identify what they're interested in. A third way is that you get appreciation for what you've done. So maybe you got really good marks, you were the topper in the batch in a particular subject, and you start liking that. So if you just put in that kind of effort in another subject, you will top there also. So you can be an expert in any area. What you want to focus on deciding by is, where are the best opportunities available for me? Because you can train and design yourself to be any kind of lawyer you want. Until my third year, I wanted to be a litigator. And when I saw the court system, I felt that there are some inefficiencies in it. And I thought, okay, let's be a corporate lawyer. And I started then training myself to be a corporate lawyer. A lot of my seniors also used to ask me questions about corporate law when they got stuck, because they thought that, okay, I have done some study and research on corporate law and I'm like a local in-house junior expert on corporate law. Now, and you won't believe that I did moots on very different areas of law which are not practiced on an everyday basis, such as international refugee law, international media law, which was primarily on international human rights. And I realized when I studied all these areas that there is a huge similarity in all of these areas. The skills required to understand and work in these areas are very similar. So what you want to choose by is, where are the opportunities? For example, I did not find opportunities in international refugee law for a lawyer working in India. Similarly, international human rights law, I couldn't find significant opportunities in. Okay, but corporate law, yes, there are a lot of opportunities in India. So you can decide according to your assessment of where the opportunities are, and it's an objective inquiry to find out that where are the opportunities for this sector in which I'm looking at. And you can compare different sectors and understand that, this is where I can go for. One thing you must not do is wait in this or think. Because when you're thinking, you're not doing something specific. If you're talking to 10 people who work in competition law to understand what are the career opportunities there, oh well, that's great. That's not called thinking. But most people say, I want to think and then I want to decide. Once I think, then I decide. Then I will decide to acquire skills in that area. And what happens in that process is you end up losing a lot of time. If you want to be an expert in multiple areas, or if you want to really choose, then you have an added responsibility. You cannot afford to postpone, but you need to acquire enough understanding of multiple areas so that you get a feel of it. Okay, it's like this. You cannot watch a great movie and then say that you know what it is like to be an actor. You can say this is a great actor, but you cannot assess that this is what it's going to be like to be an actor. No, you have no idea about an actor's life. And this is what being a lawyer in any of these areas is about. You do not have in law school an idea of what a corporate lawyer's life looks like. No matter what people who have become corporate lawyers have shared with you in terms of their personal experiences, until you actually identify what work they do, how to do that work, and have some personal experiences, you cannot shortlist. So the added responsibility for you is figure out and experience that area of law at a close quarters. So you may do it through an internship, you may acquire some practical skills and then do an internship. And then you may do the same for another area of law. And then you can decide if there is any intrinsic inclination you have towards one particular area in preference to another area. If you don't have that, then you can obviously go by where the opportunities are more. But one thing you must not do, I'll repeat, is stay in a mode of inactivity, because you will end up wasting time. Or time just flies by. You don't even have to be conscious that you're wasting it. What are your takeaways from this video? I'm really excited to know about this. Feel free to write below, and cheers.